Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for another brand new video and ladies and gentlemen, I was expecting the first preview of the season for us all to be in a bit more of a happier mood and a bit more enthusiastic and a bit excited for the first Champions League game at Ibrox this season and hopefully not the last. But we all know what happened on Saturday, we all know they've ruined our weekend and ruined our Monday and so far our Tuesday. But will they ruin our Wednesday night? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and discuss it, strap ourselves in and go ahead and look into our first and hopefully not last Champions League opponent of the old season and see what kind of test that we actually have, because there's a lot of people coming out here and saying a lot of things about tomorrow's opposition. Just how nervous should we be? And what's real interesting, at least for me, people, is if you think back to our last video discussing actual Servette, we sat and discussed and reacted to the potential draw of Genk or Servette, and everyone and their gran was expecting us to be playing Genk. And if you remember that video, I sat and said I wouldn't write off the Swiss side yet, people, because they had something that no one else had gone in to that game, and that is some real fit to the grunt experience in terms of the old league season kicking off early for them. They were much further ahead in terms of their pre-season and preparations for the season, having already played a league game. And if you go ahead and you look at how they actually lined up and faced and played versus Genk, they did look sharper, they did look fitter, despite again Genk being the better side overall, I'd say, over the two legs. What you saw in Servette is what we're going to see tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a sticky, tough, stinking opposition that just will not go away, that doesn't know when they're beaten. We're going to talk about everything you need to know about Servette going into this game, the way they line up, how they actually play, everything like that, what type of test we're actually going to face. And I think that will start to become clearer the more we go ahead and discuss it. Let's start off with the old Genk games then, shall we? Because I'm sure some of you might have actually watched the game, so you'll know what I'm talking about, or that's the ones you actually are interested in because you're not too interested in the Swiss League. So let's get into it. They've played 5 games so far already this season, real games being that, with 2 of them being in the Champions League, having obviously previously mentioned it, versus Genk. And after getting the 1-1 draw in the first leg, thanks to a late equaliser around about the 77th minute of the old game, they were expected to go to Belgium and leave and get knocked out the competition. That was before the ball was kicked, and then about 4 minutes 32 seconds into the ball being kicked, everyone, every bookie in the world went with Genk, because what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Servette got their arguably best striker sent off with a moment of absolute bizarre madness. So they go down to 10 men, they're away to Belgium, they're complete underdogs. How does the game go? Well, Genk ends up taking the lead through a penalty kick and it all looked doom and gloom, but this side showed what they're all about, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't listen to the noise, they didn't care that the underdogs, they didn't care where they're ranked, they didn't care that Motherwell's higher rated than them, they didn't care about any of that clickbait nonsense, because they fought back into the game, not just once, bringing it back to 1 each, down to 10 men, away to the favourites Genk, to not only go through them, by the way, but the Genk was also favourite to beat us, people, and qualify for the competition. They ended up coming back twice, as that do not die attitude that this side has got is there to be seen. Yes, they were absolutely massacred in every stat that Disney matter, shots, possession, blah blah blah. Genk had 33 shots in the game, 14 on target. Do you know how many they had on target? Servette, 4, and they scored 2 goals. The only stat that matters, ladies and gentlemen, is the scoreline, and they've showed that they will continue to fight and are a tricky customer. And I think that mindset is quite clear to be seen for them so far this season. As we previously mentioned, they've played 5 games in all competitions. They have yet to taste defeat. Now, they've only won 1 of those games, with the rest of them being draws, but again, 2 of them has also came against Genk. They did get a late 1-1 draw in their most recent game on Saturday, after having yet again came back from behind, scoring in the very last minute of the game in the 96th minute. People, I look at this squad and I see them get outplayed in pretty much every single game, barring 1 or 2 so far this season. They get outshot, they get outplayed, but you know what they do? They score goals, ladies and gentlemen. So if you didn't put this team away, if you give them a chance, if you didn't take a 2-0 lead against this squad, they will continue to fight, and it's been shown so far through five games, they can score late equalisers. So if Rangers want to make sure next week is a hell of a lot more comfortable than it maybe could be, people, is if we take the lead in this game, we cannot settle, we cannot slow down, we can't start organising for throw-ins and all that nonsense. We need to keep the fit down and put this squad away and grab a second goal. If there's one goal in this gone in the 90th minute, that only suits one team and one team only, and that's Servette. And that's been the story of them so far this season. Hopefully that's kind of unclouded the picture of who we're playing tomorrow. They're maybe not the best technically on the ball. They won't pass us off the park. They won't run us off the park. But again, they dig in, they make it difficult, and they take chances when they need to score. And they have got a dangerous way of playing. It is our kind of old school 4-4-2. It's a formation that we hope to see one day at Rangers, especially with the attacking talent and the strikers we now have at the football club. We probably won't ever see, ladies and gentlemen. It is kind of old school and fashioned that way, but it brings results, and that's what's shown them this season. Again, we could go into last season where they finished 20 odd points behind Cedric Gittin's young boys side, and Cedric Gittin played them twice, got a hat-trick in one game, scored, and the other scored and assisted, and the other one having 4 goals and 5 goal contributions in total versus them last season. But they're not really that same squad, so there's no point in going into too much detail or using that as an example. What they've shown this season is they are fit, they are sharp, they are ready, they've played games, they've got minutes in the legs, they've managed loads, if you catch my drift, and they're ready to come up to Ibrox and make it as frustrating as possible. So that is the tale of the tape regarding Servette, ladies and gentlemen. Have we got a right to be nervous? Obviously, but that is football. They're an all-conquering side and everything like that. No, they're not. But they get ugly, they make it difficult, and they can hurt you if you didn't pull away for them. And ladies and gentlemen, that gives me the kind of the perfect transition over to the Rangers side, because everything we kind of talked about there needs to be on show for Rangers, because we can't be slow, we can't play passive. If we play that way, people, you could not put it on a board any better for Servette. If you ask them right now, if you ask the manager how you want Rangers to play, it's slow and to let them have all of the ball. That's exactly what they'd be wanting us to do. Just pass it from here to here and let them sit in their 4-4-2 and hit on counter-attack. So we need to be at it, especially as they are missing several key players. Now, I know there's a clickbait going out there right now that they're missing 7 first-team players, and technically they are, one of them including, again, arguably their best striker at the football club. But what I would say about that is if all 7 of those first-team players were fit and ready to go, I'd say maybe 3 of them would be starting versus Rangers in the Champions League. Not all 7 of them would start in a Swiss League match, people. Never mind a Champions League qualifier. So the clickbait that's out there about them missing 7 first-team players is actually technically true, but it's not drastically altering or changing their squad. The only place that I think is very interesting to look at, again, besides the striking position, is the actual right back spot, as they're having to play either someone out of position or change the actual way they go about their business. So look out for that, and whoever's picked to play left wing for Rangers could and should have a really, really strong game. And now the dust has sort of started to clear and everything like that for the weekend. I gave my opinion on Saturday and I didn't regret a single word that I said. And again, I did preference everything, saying it is the first game of the season. And I know everyone's hit the panic buttons and some people's in for Boot will be sacked and everything like that. That's not anything that I was saying. I thought it's just very frustrating because I feel like we've no done pre-season right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel right. Again, we've managed loads and load managed that, but that just doesn't feel right. Usually there's a progression through pre-season. Look, youngsters in the first game, start building up everybody 45 minutes, then they get 75, and in the last pre-season game, everyone pretty much plays the game. That's the way it's always been, ladies and gentlemen, but that's not the way it was this year, and I think we were caught cold versus Kamara because we didn't look anywhere near ready to play a competitive match. No, a competitive, friendly versus this team or this team. No, it's completely different when you play the hammer throwers. You need to have pace, you need to have intensity. We had neither, and we got what we actually deserved in the game. But am I panicking and saying that's it all over? No, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the boys had never seen a plastic part before in their life. They're back at Ibrox in the nights, the games that they really want to be playing, European football. I'm expecting a bounce back. Am I expecting it to be perfect? No, I do think there is going to be that ugly period, but as I said before, I think we're going to need to have ugly games over the next couple of weeks just to get everybody up to speed and maybe do what we should have been doing during pre-season. But hopefully we grind out enough ugly wins that when we start playing well, we kick in and we're in a good enough position in the league. Today, we saw Celtic do it under Ange Postecoglou when he added the 6 or 7 players they got beat off Hearts the exact same way as we did. It can take time after including and introducing so many new players, but again, when you're playing in a Champions League qualifier, ladies and gentlemen, you've no got time to look for next week or the next again week or we'll get better in 4 or 5 weeks or anything. You need to get better and do it now, and that's why I think we will see a sharp difference in mindset and hopefully application for not only the players but Michael Beale as well. This slow, ponderous organisation stuff for throw-ins and make sure everyone takes it and everything like that, it's horrendous. It needs to all stop. If there's a team that is perfect for us in European football to practice what we need to preach and hear what Beale says in pressers about playing with the handbrake off and doing this and that, it's Servette. So I am going into that as a Rangers fan, not only expecting a win but expecting a performance because of what's at stake and because of the team we're playing against. So I know everyone's saying it's going to be ugly and we might even lose this game and we're going out and playing the Europa League for theme tune, and I get the jokes in that, but there is people taking that seriously despite how poor we were versus Command. Am I expecting us to lose the more night? No, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if we actually do. We have to win this game. We should win this game. We bloody better win this game. And that's all I'm going to say. There's not too much to actually break down regarding the squad. We know where everybody is right now. It's going to be interesting to see if he puts Cantwell and Danilo right in to the starting 11. I'd love to see Jose as well getting an opportunity to play the good players. Just let good players be good players. Let's not strangle their creativity and what makes them good players by demanding they play the same way that's failed us for ages and ages and ages. Let's not force people weeks and weeks to learn the philosophy we want them to play or what was played in the past. Let them just go and be good players. That's all I can hope to see, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm done. The first preview of the season is officially complete. It may not be my best, but that is how I feel. Everyone's hitting the panic button. Everyone's taking shots at the team. They were poor on Saturday, but a bad game doesn't make you a bad team. But it does need to start turning, and you've got the opportunity to do that tomorrow under the European nights, which is now being shown on BBC, by the way. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below on this squad. Who should be playing up front and what you think the prediction is actually going to be. For me, I think we're going to win tomorrow 3-1. I don't know why, because it should be a low scoring affair, but it's been my head all day, so I'm going to go for it, and I'm expecting Cantwell to have a good game and possibly a goal for Sima. I think if he's starting out on the left versus who they have to play at right back, could be the making of the young laddie. But what about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below, and as always, I'll be sieging over 92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye bye.